following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network. I'm your host, Karlifornia. This is Jooseyboy, and this is our review show here of AEW All Out 2022 on August 4th at the Now Arena in Hoffman States, Illinois, in Chicago. Jooseyboy, how are you, bro?
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, lots to say about this show. Bit of a mixed bag for me.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get into it. But, big pay-per-view, big show here, and a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss.
Yeah, definitely a lot to talk about. 15 matches, bro. 15 freaking matches on this show.
That's not number one. It's too much. It was too much last pay-per-view. It's too much this pay-per-view. And it's too much.
Bro. And I had to watch NXT earlier today and review that. So for me, 7 hours and 20 minutes of wrestling I watched today, whilst also skipping a lot of entrances, unless someone like Jamie Hayter was coming out, then I would be watching the entrance. So anyway, bro, I know you did not watch the All Out 0 Hour, which is the pre-show, right?
Good heavens, no.
Okay, I will run through my notes on these 4 matches as quickly as possible, bro. You know what? They actually started the show really awesomely. There was a nice shot of the fans filing in, and then they crossed, unfortunately, to Ty Mello and Dickhead for an interview. Guevara still can't grow facial hair. Then they make out, which is annoying. And I just at that point want someone to lay a beat down on him. And then as that was happening, there was a ruckus taking place. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden it appeared that Ruby Soho and Ortiz, I believe, they had commandeered a vehicle, like a almost like a golf buggy, but a little bit different. And they were charging towards Sammy and Ty in a hallway. Anyway, that ends up with Sammy getting nailed with this vehicle, and he goes flying off the hood of it onto the concrete. So fantastic start to the show as far as I'm concerned, because Sammy Guevara got hurt. And it was just a little crazy. So I was like, that's how you start a show, man. Well done, Tony, for all the things you don't usually get right. You got that right. There's match starting soon after this for the AAA mixed tag team titles. Foregone conclusion. We know who's winning. We know that Ortiz and Ruby aren't winning these titles on a pre-show. So we know ahead of time who's winning, but that's, what we come to expect with AEW sometimes. It was what it was. Sammy hit a swanton bomb because he always does other people's moves. Anna Jay made a run in. So hot, dude. So hot. And she got wiped out by Ruby.
You're always picking on Guevara.
I hate him. Yeah. I hate him. What I don't understand
copying, like everyone copies each other's moves in AEW. Like you're acting like as if he's the only one that it's bad when he does it.
Yeah, no, fucking bro.
Right, go on.
So, okay, Excalibur's on commentary with Tony Schiavone, and I'm like, you got Paul White under contract. Why don't you get him to do the pre-show and commentary? You're paying him all that money to do what? A YouTube show. The finish was a little flat after a tie KO on Ruby after, again, Anna Jay got involved. So it was okay. It was serviceable. Let's move forward quickly. FTW title. This is one that we couldn't wait for me I couldn't wait for me to sit down and watch this one. Hook defending the title against Angelo Parker, who was one of the members of 3.0, I believe, or in the Jericho Appreciated Society.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So we all know who's winning this because Hook has still not lost.
FTC.
Yep. So that, I feel like the Hook hype is over because everyone blew their proverbial load over him when he debuted.
I feel like it just never existed to begin with.
It's that false hype, isn't it?
It's like a niche bit of the audience. not saying that he's bad or that the hype is unwarranted, but like
He's just a young wrestler that happens to be Taz's son.
Let's just slow down. Give him a chance to actually like develop.
Yeah, take your time with him because there's a hook is going to kill you chant. Like,
yeah, and then it's going to end up being that if he gets too much too soon, it'll be like Roman Reigns. Everyone hate the Roman Reigns deal.
And I just think the crowd need to stop forcing it and just let it be organic. Because if he's so unstoppable, then put him against Wardlow. Let's see what happens. Put him against Wardlow.
Wardlow would smash him.
Yeah, if this were real, put him against Wardlow.
Within the kayfabe of the show. Yeah.
Hook wins, of course. Matt Bernard, Angelo's tag partner, belts Hook hard after the match, which was pretty funny. Then Action Bronson, who does Hook's theme song, jumped the guardrail, got in the ring, and threw him around a little bit.
Oh man, sick. Side note, I just want to say, a huge fan of Action Bronson. Fucking sick cunt. Like, I love the idea of him getting involved, so maybe I'll have to go back and check that out. Anyway.
Yeah, bro. Let's keep the C word to a minimum, by the way. AEW All Atlantic title match, bro. Park defending against Kip Sabian, who has made his return. And he's got this new gimmick where he wears a box on his head.
I've seen the.
Have you seen it?
I've seen the box. It's like the box is more entertaining than Kip Sabian. Like, that's really how I feel. Is like there's more texture with the box than with Kip Sabian as a performer.
Right.
It's just there's nothing there.
And speaking of being nothing there, we know who's winning this one. We know that Parker's going to defend this title successfully. The crowd cheer for both of them, of course.
Yawn.
It's Kip's first match in 500 plus days, and he gets a title shot.
Yeah, great way to use a young wrestler's, prime years.
It wasn't a bad match, to be honest. He was trying to work this new gimmick. Good little back and forth. He kept talking to the box head, which was kind of funny.
Okay. He's doing something.
Yeah, at least it's something. And then he just got stomped on the skull over and over and over again by Park, and then Park hit the red arrow. Okay. Great return.
That kind of pops me though. Like, he just got stomped on the skull over and over and over again, and then Puck hit the red arrow.
It had to be like 12 times, bro.
So it's like he also like did this move at the end to show off, even though he didn't need to after the stomps.
And then he got mad at the box. So it was kind of funny. Tony interviews Park on the top of the stage, and then Orange Cassidy comes out. Because Park had said he's looking for the next challenger, and Orange Cassidy came out.
Seen the match though,
and Park, when Orange Cassidy walked up to him, said, "No." I don't know. It was just funny because it's like no, you're not a wrestler, you're a joke. And then he walked off, and that was when they shot to Kip yelling at the cardboard box to end the segment. To finish off the 0 hour pre-show, I thought it was called the buy-in. Anyway, Tomohiro Ishii takes on Eddie Kingston in a matchup. And I wanted to say this about Eddie because he hasn't shaved his head in a while. It might serve him better if because he's not a body guy, obviously. But maybe wear a baggy t-shirt like New Jack used to. Cover up the little muffin top because he tucks in his singlet in his pants, and that's why you can see the bit of blubber there. Maybe wear the baggy shirt, keep your head shaved, and maybe, I don't know, color your beard a little bit so you don't look homeless. I'm not trying to be mean, but honestly, he looked homeless. So if he's getting upset at people picking on him, then maybe you might need to do something about it. And then
cut to there's just a video on Twitter. This fucking guy from Australia or wherever the fuck starts telling me I look homeless. Here's my home, you stupid piece of I
don't doubt that would happen. So the match starts with a chop war, which seems to go forever. It does nothing for me, but of course the fans go crazy.
They were real, or did they just look fake?
No, they belted the crap out of each other.
Cool.
The fans went crazy for it. So it actually wasn't bad for a strong style match. It's a different flavor. And at least it came across like a fight. It went a little long though. But again, at least it was hard to tell who was going to win. Kingston out winning with a Northern Lights bomb, whatever that is.
That's actually sick. Isn't that like a snowplow? A Northern
Something
Lights
like
bomb?
that. But anyway, that was the end of the pre-show. So I wasn't offended by it. It was kind of obvious that 3/4 of the matches at the result of the match. Anyway, let's get to the All Out pay-per-view, Juicy Boy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you take it away here, bro, for the AEW Casino. Is it Casino Royale ladder match?
So it's the Casino Battle Royal ladder match. No, not Battle Royal. Sorry, it's just the fucking
whatever
ladder match for the poker chip, and it's like it can be cashed in the same way a Money in the Bank briefcase can be cashed in.
Right. So it's Wheeler Yuta, Ray Phoenix, Bruce, Andrade, Claudio Castagnoli, Dante Martin, and Penta. So I don't know how this group of people were picked. I couldn't understand Andrade a bit. Claudio, of course. Penta and Phoenix are a tag team. Has Roosh had that many big victories? Wheeler Yuta, come on. Dante Martin there. But anyway.
Well, Dante fit in there. He's like, he
does, but is he really
here's the
line
thing.
for a world title shot?
Here's how I felt about this match.
Okay.
I felt that this match featured a lot of flashes of really great athleticism and really good, impressive stuff by all the people involved. And it was a lot more cohesive in terms of the guys involved knowing what the fuck they were trying to do, as opposed to most multi-person AEW ladder matches where things end up coming off a little wonky and the timing's just off. The timing was better here in this match, but having said that, there was still a number of things where I was just thinking that was stupid. There were a number of times where I just found myself going, why is this opening the show? Like you said, why is Claudio being wasted in a match like this? This entire card was thirsty for singles matches. Like, it lacked singles matches. There was just so many multi-man matches on this card overall, and we'll get to it obviously. But this multi-man ladder match, another case of great work by the individuals involved, poor overall booking, although I must say I did enjoy the finish, and I enjoyed the last couple of big spots leading into the finish of this match. I thought it was refreshing that they didn't have the masked guy take off his mask yet, and I like the fact that you see W. Morrissey and a couple other guys that have helped orchestrate this attack, that these guys that ran in, interfered, and took that poker chip down, handed it to the marksman, who did not reveal himself at that point. Good finish. I'm going to give the match a D+, because I really felt like it just, I don't know. I agree with you, man. Just the competitors didn't really feel right. I felt like several of them were being wasted by being in this match. I thought there was a lot of just, let's do crazy shit for the sake of it that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And just overall, I don't know. I thought it was a weird choice to open up the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes they put these matches because they're just trying to get everyone on the card. Obviously this did have a point. And I've been very angry about multi-man ladder matches for quite some time because I just feel like it's the same thing every time. So I thought I was going to hate this. It wasn't a bad start with Phoenix and Yuta. I found it funny that when Roosh came out and I think Phoenix was climbing the ladder and he was almost there. He did get cut off, but he just kind of stood there and took off his robe really slowly. I'm like, run, dude, run. If it was real, you would run. And again, Andrade did the same thing. He took his time to take off his little outfit and take off his mask and all that stuff. I don't know if I don't know. I just think people should be desperate to get in there quickly because anyone could win at any time before everyone's got out there.
That's my big problem. It didn't feel like people were ultimately trying to get the poker chip down in the match. It felt more like they were trying to just do as much cool shit as they could.
Yeah, rarely was there a time where someone actually got their hand on it or like, seemed desperate to get up there and get it.
Mm-hmm.
I know Dante Martin did a few impressive jumps onto the ladder and all that stuff, but it just didn't feel like anyone was actually trying to get it. And that's the whole freaking point of the match.
Yeah.
The sunset power bomb on Yuta was fantastic.
That was time.
Usually that can get fucked up because like the person's feet can hit the ladder first before the power bomb's executed. So they nailed it. Well done, Andrade. Well done, Wheeler. But I thought Yuta needed to be out for the rest of the match after that, and he came back in not really selling as much as
like the Canadian Destroyer on the ladder as well. That was pretty decent.
Yeah. When that happened, I think and Andrade did not come back into the match after that, so that was okay. But it's like I remember that time that happened to Cody, and he was back in the match later on. So anyway, I'll skim through this because it's not really that important. I did like Phoenix's frog splash through the table on Roosh. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then the dudes in hoods attacked. I got excited because I'm like, I don't know what this is about. This is cool. When Stokely Hathaway revealed it to be him at the top of the ladder, I was like, that is so weird. Like, why him? What's going to happen here? And then, of course, the Joker came out. He walks down the ramp. The crowd is silent. He's handed the chip. He wins. And when I think back about it now, I'm like, so you know what? I'll get to it at the end of the show. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's just continue on. It was an interesting ending to the match. And at least it was something weird and unexpected. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next matchup, Trios Championships, finally being decided here. It is the Elite Kenny and the Young Bucks against the Dark Order and Hangman Page. I'll run through my notes quickly here. I've hated the idea of the Trios title since I heard rumors about it like a year ago because I don't want more multi-man matches, and there were so many in this show as it were. Like, I get it. Oh, they had a package before the match. Oh, we have so many trios now that it just made sense to have. No, you don't need to. You've got enough titles. But anyway, they wanted to do it. They were going to do what they wanted to do. The EVPs wanted to be the first champions. And I knew from the get-go when I saw the tournament and I saw the bracket, I knew who was going to win the thing. You knew it was going to be them. And dude, why is the Dark Order still a thing? When we started reviewing AEW last year, I don't know what month it was. Like,
it was already getting played out then. It was getting played out back then.
I'm pretty sure the first show had the Dark Order versus the Elite, and it kept on coming back and coming back and coming back, and it's happening still. Half their members aren't even in the group anymore. Colt Cabana's been sent to Ring of Honor. They're not necessary anymore. They're not winning this match. We all know they're not winning this match. And I had arguments with people on Twitter in the last week about this, saying, oh, let it play out. You never know what's going to, they might win, or Hangman might turn on them. Neither happened. We got the foregone conclusion, Juicy Boy. And that's why I was like, could you have at least put a team in there that we might have been thinking, oh, who knows? Maybe they'll win. Anyway. The crowd were both going for Hangman and Kenny, of course, because they don't like, go for the baby faces and go against the heels or whatever. John Silver was a highlight in this match for me. I thought he did great. Man. And I'll give Matt Jackson some credit for some selling he did to his back because I thought he was actually might have been hurt at one stage. But another thing that pissed me off is referee Rick Knox suddenly caring about legal tags after I don't know how many months we've seen this bald referee not care about tags in tag team matches. Now all of a sudden it matters. Come on, keep consistent, bro. Yeah. Tony at the end, said we're going to remember this match for decades, and I said we will forget it next week, Tony. We will forget it next week.
It could be blurred and confused with any number of dozens of other matches.
So it wasn't horrible, but it was just like really. We've seen this like so many times now. So we're not surprised that they won. And it must mean so much to Kenny and the Bucks to win titles that you decided that you wanted to win ahead of time. Juicy Boy, take it away.
So when this match came on after the debacle that I felt was the ladder match that opened the show, I was starting to get worried about this pay-per-view. I was like, ugh. Because like you said, it's just such a foregone conclusion. They yes, John Silver was tremendous and stuff like that, but the Dark Order is just a joke. It felt like a glorified TV match that, yeah, yeah, they did some impressive stuff. They executed everything cleanly. There was no real botches or anything like that. So,
Yeah, a few
you know,
good false finishes as
yeah,
well.
a couple of good false finishes, but it wasn't really anything special. But I feel like everyone in the audience and everyone watching, it was presented as if we were supposed to feel like it was this big thing. And I just found myself like I thought the whole idea of Adam Page being conflicted between wanting to, like, you know, use that killer instinct on the Elite was fucking stupid and halted the pace of this match in a bad way. They're trying to tell this story of like, oh, he's conflicted and shit like that. Meanwhile, the people that he's conflicted about fighting against have happily stabbed people in the back time after time after time because they're dickwads. And the Dark Order has shown nothing but loyalty to Adam Page, even though Adam Page has dogged him on countless occasions and basically did so again here in this match. Like, I get the story that they're trying to tell here, but it still doesn't justify the fact that all of these people, like Adam Page and John Silver especially, should be doing completely different things by now.
Yeah.
Put John Silver in the fucking ROH pure title division and have him in there wrestling. Do something like that with him.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Anyway, the match itself, I'm going to go ahead and give it a C plus because it was a good little match, I suppose, for the, you know, fans of that style of wrestling are going to enjoy it. I can appreciate the athleticism in it, but it's again one of those things that you feel like it went on for way too long and it didn't really feel like a match befitting an event of this. Like, to be honest with you, the 6-man tag that we saw later on would have been a more fitting match for the trios titles than this one.
Yeah. And even though we weren't, you know, look, and again, it wasn't terrible. It was still good, but it's what we've already seen before.
Yeah,
and I'm sure Dave Meltzer was like, "Oh my gosh, but Brian,
honestly,
I think I'm gonna come." Right?
Seriously, it's like they're trying to rehash things that they were doing in the first year of the company, and it's already getting stale. It's like,
and everyone's like on Twitter, all the AEW marks are like, "Oh, the story of Hangman is such an intricately written story." It's not intricate.
Not.
One thing happened at this point, then another thing happened at this point, and another thing is happening now. There's nothing intricate about it. It's just a couple of things have happened over a span of time. Fuck. Anyway, bro, let's move forward. Let's get away from these guys. These goddamn jokers.
Idiots.
Backstage, Mark Henry is with Jade Cargill and Athena. I thought this was cookie cutter as hell, but great to see Mark there.
Yeah.
And Jade was looking fantastic. 37-0 after only 2 years, or no, 36 before becoming 37-0. 2 years, she's had 36 matches at this point. Get her some more reps.
Fucking hell. No wonder these people look so shaky on TV.
So anyway, we'll get to this next match. It's for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill defends against Athena. Take it away. What did you think, bro?
Look, I have basically no notes on this because it basically took no time. It is another case of a talented but underappreciated wrestler in WWE going to AEW where their talent seems to be underappreciated even more. You know, Athena is a new signing from only a couple of months back, and look where she is now. She's getting squashed by the TBS Women's Champion on pay-per-view. And by the way, this easily could have been put on 0 Hour or saved for Rampage, like, in this coming week. Who the fuck needed this filling time on the pay-per-view? D-.
Fair enough, bro. I was intrigued to see it because I just wanted to see how much she had improved since Double or Nothing. Because at Double or Nothing, I was like, gosh, she really needs to, I don't know, have a bit more intensity and a bit more power in some of the stuff she's doing. She's obviously strong, but I'm missing that element of, I don't know, just brute strength when she's doing something.
She's strong in the fitness model sense.
Yes.
She's not strong in the athletic sense, you know.
Yeah, there's no explosiveness, you know what I mean? I thought Rick Knox refereeing this next match was a weird decision, and it was noticeable to me. Not really much else I wrote here except that Jade again, she does this thing where she runs at them and they're in the corner and does like a jumping elbow while they're standing in the corner. Again, she did it, and again it looked terrible. Stop doing it or practice it a bit better, a bit more. Sorry, because
It'd be
she
better off
again.
just run into him with your fucking forearm, just front facing, and do it like that, and
Or a
it'll be,
clothesline or
you
something.
know.
Jeez.
It
She
doesn't
hit
always
the
have to be something specky.
I will say though, she hit that finisher jaded better than she ever has, because it usually came across a
Yeah.
little awkward before. So she has improved, and I'm glad this was short,
Yeah.
but I don't know where they're going with her and this, because at some point someone's gonna have to beat her. And to be perfectly honest with you, she doesn't really seem that dominant. Like Athena took a lot of the match. Um, Anywho,
Yeah.
let's move forward. It was good to see them use different areas of the building, meeting Punk outside for an interview as he's walking in with his dog and Ace Steel. So that was a nice little touch. Next one, bro. Another 6-man. Motor City Machine Guns teaming with Jay Lethal, taking on FTR and Wardlow. I wrote, why is this happening? And I'm happy to see FTR. I'm happy to see Wardlow, and I like the other team. But I'm like, I don't know. I just thought, geez, they're just making these multi-man matches just to get everyone on the show. Wardlow's getting his Goldberg chant now. It's the third multi-match in on the show so far.
Yeah.
FTR's theme song is cute. It went a little long. It was good, but all everyone was there really wanting to see was Wardlow to hit some power bombs. That's how it felt. So I just feel like maybe the fans weren't invested in the heat behind the story. They were seem more focused on just wanting to see Wardlow powerbomb someone. So it took a long time to get what we knew that we were getting. This was a foregone conclusion. Wardlow was going to powerbomb somebody and get the pin. And then there's a situation in the ring. Samoa Joe returns. I thought it was cute with I think it's Dax's daughter came out and snapped the pencil in front of Sanjay Dutt. That made me laugh. And then she got a pin on him. But anyway, what did you think of this one, man?
Yeah, I kind of rolled my eyes when this came on because I was like, yeah, great wrestlers involved. Obviously, going to be a real treat to see the Motor City Machine Guns take on FTR as part of the 6-man, especially. As it went along, though, I was like, my God, this shit's all over the trios match we saw for the titles, though, because it's actually a physical match between like these two teams that are both working at the highest level and making everything mean something, and the rules were being enforced, and it mattered who was legal and who wasn't legal, and ring positioning mattered, and things happened organically, and it looked like this was actually a fucking fight. So even though it was pointless, I'm giving it an A minus because I enjoyed it so much. Up to this point, it might have been my favorite match so far. I thought that it really exceeded expectations, even if it was weird booking, a weird way to use these teams involved.
Yeah. Coming up next was a grudge match, it seems. Former tag team partners from Team Tayers. Powerhouse Hobbs taking on Ricky Starks. What did you think?
I actually really liked this. I'm going to give this a B minus. I thought that this is an example of the kind of dominant win that you want for your big, powerful heel that you can put on pay-per-view. because this match did enough to elevate Ricky Starks a bit more because he's becoming more and more popular as kind of like a charismatic, good-looking baby face. And the fact that he got smashed into the ground by this monster, not only did it make Powerhouse Hobbs look great, but it made Ricky Starks look great as well. People now are going to want to see Ricky Starks fucking come back and beat that big son of a bitch back down. So, and honestly, when he hit that spine buster, I was like, oh, that is a rough fucking spine buster. And then when he actually got the pin with it, I was like, oh, refreshing. They didn't go into like some big fucking sequence or whatever. It was like, boom, Will Hobbs hit a couple of things to get the advantage on the injured neck that, you know, Starks would obviously be favoring. And then bam, that spine buster drove him in deep. That was it. So I thought that was a good piece of old school booking, and I really liked that. So credit where credit is due to TK there.
I was like, thank God it's a singles match. It was a palate cleanser that I was looking for. My gosh.
It was like a sip of ice cold water in the middle of the night when you wake up, and it's just, you know.
It was like a fight at the beginning. That's what I liked the most about this. Again, the crowd going for both wrestlers. I'm going to mention it every time it happens.
I was going for Ricky Starks.
So was I. I like Hobbs though, but I was going for Starks.
I just wanted to quickly add, I got some major I want to say like Roman Reigns, Batista. Like I felt like a presence from Will Hobbs, you know, at the end, towards the end of the match and after he won, where I was like, man, this dude is like owning this ring right now. Like this dude is like an animal that's just, you know, killed a piece of prey and he's gonna feast on it and, you know, watch what he can do. Like I felt like he had that presence in that moment. So I wanted to point that out. Like there's potential there if they don't fuck it up somehow.
Yeah, well, hopefully he doesn't get lost in the mix because, you know, they do all these great things for some of these younger guys, building them up like a Wardlow, and then there's no follow through with what comes next. There's no plan to keep going.
They either don't do anything and forget about it, or they squander it, and you end up like, instead of getting angry at how dumb it is, you end up scratching your head because you can't believe that anyone would be that dumb. Like, at least when Vince McMahon did stupid things with the WWE product, you knew that it was because he had some stupid logic to it. It wasn't just because of no reason or because he thought it was cool. Anyway.
It was refreshing to finally have a match where it wasn't like 50 false finishes and stuff. It was just he laid him out. He got the win.
Yeah.
I did feel a little bad for Starks because, you know, he was the one that got made kind of like, you know, piss when he lost the FTW title to Hook and all this stuff. And I feel like before that, you know, Starks is every time he gets to that point where he needs to get that win, he hasn't, except for obviously Brian Cage quite some time ago. But anyway, there was a nice short match for once. Thank God. Let's move forward. The longest match on the show, I believe. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, this next match went. Oh, no, it was the second longest match, 22.5 minutes. It was the AEW Tag Team Championships, Swerve in Our Glory. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland taking on the Acclaimed with Billy Gunn at ringside. I did laugh at JR on commentary saying, listen, before Max Caster said it, listen.
Yeah, just having fun.
Max said it 5 seconds later. So yeah, I mean, I didn't mind this one. I thought the interaction between Keith Lee and Caster at the beginning was very entertaining. The crowd were pissing me off again though with the Keith Lee whoop whoop. Shut up. You know, another thing that's getting annoying for me, bro, is I hate when they sit down on someone's stomach and pull one leg up for a pin, like their backs to the person's head. People keep doing that. Just
put your body weight on them. You've got to hold their shoulders down to the mat with your body weight.
Why would you sit on their stomach?
That's what you're doing. You're pressing your weight down upon their shoulders to pin them to the mat. That's why it's called a pin.
it's they're these younger wrestlers these days. They're doing all these lazy things, and I've said it so many times. Like someone's on their back on the floor, and the guy grabs them by the leg and rolls them through, and they're suddenly on their feet. That is so dumb. Anyway, I thought the scissor thing was funny at the beginning, but then I thought that the crowd needed to get over it. And don't let it get old. Stop
Stop
just
bashing it into the ground.
exactly. That's what seems to happen with this fan base. I thought Anthony Bowen's selling and work in this was great. He's got great charisma. There was good work with the false finish after Keith hit Swerve, and then the Swerve stop false finish was good, but people should keep giving their finishes up so often. It's happening every show, almost every match. And then I think there was a point where the Acclaimed went for a pin, and Keith Lee barely broke up the pin. Like, I think he just hit him with a slap to the leg, and the referee said it was a 2 count. It's like, that's not breaking up the pin, bro. So I think the crowd called BS on that. And then Keith Lee and Swerve won. And I just think it was a bit far-fetched to go that far with the false finishes before they just suddenly got the win. I don't know. I felt like the people were with the Acclaimed, and maybe that there should have been a title change there, but whatever. That's just me. Not a bad match. What did you think, bro?
I gotta tell you this, man. I ended up loving this match. Like, I ended up really getting into this. I thought, like, man, the Acclaimed are having the match of their careers so far, the best match of their careers. I was like, man, this is the Keith Lee that we've needed to see all this time. Like, as the match went on, him and Swerve really started healing it up a lot more and, establishing themselves as like, all right, we're the bad guys in this match. And they started successfully turning the crowd against themselves and getting the crowd to rally behind the Acclaimed even more, which it helped to have Billy Gunn out there. But I thought that I was like, yes, Keith Lee's getting mean. Like, he's finally just saying, man, fuck you, punk asses. Like, look what I can do. And then he's doing all this just crazy shit, like he's a huge guy, but just what an athlete. And then, Swerve's there with his weird charisma and his innovative little forms of offense. I ended up really getting sucked into this. I was like, these guys are actually, yes, they're doing, a bunch of the modern crazy stuff that's maybe a little bit far-fetched, but they're trying to make it look like it all fucking hurts. They're selling. Anthony Bowens is selling that fucking knee injury. It's telling a story. It's actually playing into how the match is unfolding as it's going along. So, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I reckon A minus again for this match. Like, I was like, yes, this is a proper tag match.
Very good. Moving forward. AEW Women's stupid interim title. I hate the interim titles. Hikaru Shida, Jamie Hayter, boy, I want to lay her. Britt Baker and Toni Storm in a 4 women's match. First pinfall for the victory wins the interim championship. Juicy boy, thoughts?
Yeah, it didn't really do it for me. I found myself just thinking like a singles match between two better established contenders would have been much more interesting. Like Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm in a singles match would have been much more interesting to me, especially if you are going to go with this whole interim bullshit. As it was, I just didn't feel like there was a lot of heat behind this match, and I couldn't really get into it. And I'm going to give it a D plus.
Right. Well, I had different feelings towards this one. I thought it was a great start to the match. I thought all 4 were working very hard. I thought Jamie Hayter should have won this from the get-go, although I am probably biased because I think she's really hot. I'm over people trading forearms, bro. It's happening all the time now. Gosh. I did laugh at Rebel getting the ring and copying that double headbutt at the same time. That was funny to me. Shida gets taken out of the match. She ends up running back in with some kendo sticks. I thought that was a bit strange. The crowd seemed to be behind Jamie Hayter. And there was a great tombstone from Jamie that she hit, I believe, on Tony. They got me with a false finish for Britt Baker's stomp. I thought to myself, I don't want Britt to win. I think we need something. I don't want to see Britt versus Thunder Rosa again. Then when we got that moment where Britt interrupted the pin, when Jamie surely had the match won, I was like, I like that. That was a nice little touch. And then, yeah, Britt tried to steal it after Jamie got laid out. She tried to pin Jamie, didn't work out. And then I was surprised that Tony won. I really thought Jamie might have been able to pull one off there over Britt, but I guess they're going this direction, which is fine.
God knows Tony needs the win.
So, like, considering the psychology of the match, I thought Britt or Jamie, but I suppose it might work out with their story going forward, because I'm sure some people out there will be like, let it play out. Fuck you. I've been letting shit play out for 2 years now, and I'm not getting what I expect, but that's okay. Something that I think I loved this the most on the whole show. Christian taking on Jungle Boy.
Man,
loved this more than anything.
I've been waiting to talk to you about this all day, man. Like, okay, just let me quickly blurt mine out because I don't have much to say. All right, okay. I just want to say I was kind of relieved that this match got cut short because these big shows just drag on so much, but also I was surprised that they were bold enough to, after having built this up for quite a while now, they were bold enough to go with this booking. I heard that maybe Christian has an injury. If that's the case, hope it heals soon. In any case, I just thought that Christian was just tremendous, being just this slimy, sleazy, greasy, like piece of shit, like disgusting human being, like, you know, gleefully destroying a mother's son in front of her. and it was tremendous. Like, the whole thing, the whole segment, the whole match, whatever you want to call it, I'm giving it a B+. Yeah, I thought it was a great piece of, like, a great angle, and the kind of angle that was worthy of being on pay-per-view.
Yeah, my biggest fears going into this one were that they're just going to have Jungle Boy win, and he's going to have a big happy moment, having his big cuddle with Luchasaurus and on his shoulders, and everyone's going to be like going, oh, and I would have been so upset if that's the visual that I got. Thankfully, I got the polar opposite here, bro. When Luchasaurus came out and he was looking pretty, he's in a different mood than usual, and he just grabbed him by the throat, bro. And oh my God, the feeling that came through me was so happy, because I thought that, judging from previous booking, I thought that, you know, it would have been the Tony one and done, and then the storyline will be over. So it's nice that this is getting prolonged. The choke slam onto the steel grating was sickening, absolutely sickening. I loved it. And that's giving me this hope that Christian is going to win this match. And I still got that seed of doubt in my mind, right? Christian then tells Luchasaurus to choke, or put him through the table at ringside. Oh, another wave of just relief over me. But then again, still I got a little seed of doubt in my mind. And then he gets put in the ring. Aubrey gets annoying.
Right, oh yeah, like, once again, just, we don't need to hear you 50 times be like, you want me to call it off? I can call it off. We understand you're the referee and that you have that power. That's the whole point of wearing the shirt with the stripes, so that everyone automatically can see, without you even saying anything, that you have that power and serve that role. So yeah. I get that a little bit of it's necessary, but it was too much. All right, we get it. She's there. She's thought of highly within the company. She's like the face of the refereeing crew over there. Great. But it's got to stop, because it's overdone a little bit, and it takes me a little bit out of the immersion.
Yeah, Aubrey. Okay, so that he says he still wants to do the match. She rings the bell, turns around, he gets nailed with this sweet spear. And when he kicked out, I went off. Fuck off. I actually said fuck off out loud. I was like, do not tell me somehow Christian's going to slip on a banana peel here and lose. So maybe they just wanted it just for the reaction, but still, either way, kill switch out cold. 1, 2, 3, good. Thank you. Go fuck yourself, Jungle Boy. Thank you for some heat. I'm sick of happy endings, bro. Okay. Okay, so we're done with that one. Very good. That was my highlight of the show, even though there were a few other things that I did like. Backstage, best friends in the Death Triangle. I'm like, whatever. Like, are the Lucha Brothers baby faces or heels? What are they? Because they're dealing with Andrade and Roosh, who are heels, and best friends are baby faces, clearly, and they're still backing up Puck. Like, I don't understand.
Who cares? Who cares?
You know what? I don't care. This wasn't necessary. We already had this moment with Puck and Orange Cassidy on the pre-show. If you needed something else, then I don't know. Think a little.
You gotta be prepared. Gotta think a little bit.
Let's get to the next one, bro. It's American Dragon, Bryan Danielson taking on Lionheart, Chris Jericho. Thoughts?
Yeah, this is probably the best match I've seen Chris Jericho have in about 18 months. I actually thought that, he did really well here. I thought that stripping back all the other crap that he's always trying to do, trying to turn himself into a living meme or whatever the fuck his goal is, in the last 10 years of his career or so. I think stripping it back to basics, going with the Lionheart persona actually really helped in terms of, I don't know. I just felt like Jericho was really able to kind of like perform at a very high level again in this match. And I thought that Bryan Danielson looked great as well. I loved the fact that they, for a while I thought it was a foregone conclusion that, like Bryan Danielson is going to get the win. And then it had me doubting it. And, I just wasn't sure. By the end of it, I wasn't sure who was going to win. And I ended up being fairly happy with the result because it felt like this was the kind of match that had been missing from the entire show so far. And, it was great to actually really get into a Chris Jericho match again. And I think Bryan Danielson showed why he's considered one of the best wrestlers in the world. And huge shout out to William Regal on the commentary. That also made the world of difference. I'm giving the match an A-.
Very nice. When Danielson was making his entrance, some guy was singing his theme or whatever. And I just thought, who's this Ponce singing Danielson's theme? So yeah, crowd will go for both wrestlers again. Sometimes I feel a little bit tired of Danielson being made out to be this badass. Like, I get that that's kind of what he was like in Ring of Honor. Because I'm used to him being like a proficient technical underdog, I suppose. But I don't know, seeing him be like on the same level as like guys bigger than him beating down on them seems, I don't know, a little unrealistic sometimes, but maybe I'm just being a dickhead. Crowd going for both wrestlers again. As I said, I gotta complain about Aubrey Edwards again. Danielson had, I don't know what kind of lock on Jericho, but whilst he had the lock in on him, he was pulling on Jericho's nose, and Aubrey was giving him the 5 count. But while she did that, she grabbed Danielson's arm while she's doing it. And I'm like, why are you touching them? Don't touch them unless you get to 5. Stop touching. Jesus. Anyway, She didn't bother me much for the rest of the match. I wish Jericho put his hair up in the fountain again if he's going to be Lionheart. So one other thing I wanted to give AEW props for, they seem to have at least ironed out their camera work and production issues that we used to have big problem with. They're missing certain things. So props. Again, echoing your sentiments, Juicy Boy, Regal on commentary. Fantastic. Laughed at Jericho doing the old cocky pin. Very good. great stuff with the reversal of that Hurricane Rana into the walls of Jericho. I knew this was going to be good, so props to them both. I was really enjoying the whole suspense of the match as it got towards the end. That tombstone spot into the Lion Salt. The Lion Salt was a close call, though he almost didn't really make it over. But yes, suspenseful with the submissions. I did write, does every match have to go so long, though? But I kind of understood it. I think these two just wanted their ultimate match together, and I was glad Jericho won. I liked the fact that it was supposed to see who the best wrestler was, and right at the end, he just had to go to the well and low blow him. Like, God, this is too difficult.
That is being a proper heel. You know, like that's being a heel and actually trying to get the crowd to actively go against you.
Yeah, as opposed to doing this, because that's what everyone does when they want to be a heel now.
Yeah.
So edgy, bro. We got 2 matches left, bro. Finally, we're getting towards the end. Match number 14, the proceedings. It is a 6-man tag again, Juicy Boy. Yippee! But I'm not too upset about it because I get to see Sting in this one. It's Sting, Darby, Miro against the House of Black with Julia Hart at ringside. What did you think, bro?
Yeah, I found myself literally wanting to skim through it and just watch the Sting parts. I think like Sting once again, you know, shone in this match. Darby Allin once again showed that he's being underused and, you know, has been pushed, you know, into the background when really he should still be a focal point of the TNT title division. Miro, another person that kind of falls into the same category as Darby Allin that I just mentioned. That is, in his case, it's for different reasons, but he's got the experience. I mean, the guy faced John Cena at WrestleMania 31. He's been in the ring with The Rock. He's done just, you know, so many things, and I think that he is a much bigger asset to AEW than they treat him as, and that's all I could really think about when I watched this match. And then the rest of the time, I just found myself thinking, I don't give a fuck about the House of Black at all. The Judgment Day in WWE, even with fucking it up and tossing Edge out and everything, is still doing the same idea basically, but better. D plus. Like, it wasn't good, and it was like, why is this here? Why does this need to be on the pay-per-view? Just put it on TV.
You could have Sting on the pay-per-view, mate.
I know, but give him a singles match.
But he's not going to have one.
Put Sting against Billy Gunn and tell me that they wouldn't have a good match. No, seriously. That would have been more over with me than this.
Fair enough. Grumpy fuck. All right. Usually I'm the one that's most angry after watching AEW. You know what? I like Julia Hart in this new role, but I think they made the Varsity Blondes look like total bitches because I don't think they ever really did anything about the situation. And I haven't heard anything about anything that they've done in the last few months. And no, I don't watch Dynamite or Rampage or the YouTube shows because I don't want to.
And Dark Elevation are not canon, by the way. They don't count. Nobody watches them except for the diehards. That's why they all have 100,000 views on them.
You know what? I would have changed the name to Julia Blackheart. I don't know. It just seemed to make sense when I was thinking about it.
That probably would be the kind of thing that, you know, might work, but
also anyway, so how's the Blackheart? Not Bret the Hitman Hart, because I kind of feel like Julia Hart is disgracing my family's legacy by using our surname without our permission. Anyway, I still laugh at the theme song of the House of Black with that guy screaming in immense pain. It sounds like it anyway. How about the shape Buddy Matthews is in though? Dude's
He's in
built.
good shape.
Yeah. I'm sure Rhea Ripley's reaping the rewards of that. I thought it'll be interesting to see how Sting was going to work with these guys. But it was our third trios match of the show in like, I don't know, our fourth multi-man match. No, fifth multi-man. Oh, whatever. Something like that. Just too much. I thought Darby in there, he's so small compared to the rest of the guys. I just thought it's a little bit unbelievable at times. I know some people go on about, oh, don't be a heightist or whatever the fuck it is people go on about, but it's like, size of him.
I kind of look at Darby Allin as like sort of a Rey Mysterio type that kind of has this intangible about his game that, you know, it's like 1, 2, 3 Kid, man, was small, but, you know, did things in a certain way.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just when you put him up next to Brody King and Buddy Matthews, it's
Well, you put anyone up against that fat cunt Brody King and they look small, don't they?
Oh, bro, another thing I wanted to bring up, how many people do that running kick now with someone's like a seated position, or someone runs across the ring apron and does the running kick to someone?
Stop doing the soccer kicks.
Can we like, I don't know, coordinate with one another how many people we're gonna have do this? Because it's like almost every match someone did that running soccer kick to somebody. It's just you all copy each other. Why do you all copy each other all the time?
It seems like that seems to be a big thing, and doing like running knees seems to be a big thing, and they also seem to be really into like flipping moves where they grab the guy and then do a flip and just shit like that.
Or the thing with the rolling through of the legs so they're on their feet, or when they're whipping them off the ropes and they're just pushing the back of their neck to whip them off the ropes instead of doing an actual Irish whip. Things like that. It seems like everyone's doing the same thing.
You're supposed to use their arm to pull them like towards you, and then as they're coming towards you, you pivot and turn and shove them from behind. Like
that's how it works. That's how it works. Not just grab them by the back of the head and just toss them.
It's not just meant to be this indicator thing like you're a crossing guard telling people to go across. It's actually supposed to be a move. Like,
I'm also getting sick of people go, someone's in the middle, they go to run off the ropes the opposite direction, and then as they hit the ropes, the guy forearms them. Yeah. And then the guy just forearms and he goes to the other ropes, and that guy chases after him, and then as he hits the ropes, he forearms him. Why is this happening?
While we're at it, let's also mention that when they do that, I hate when these guys will, like, they'll do like, usually it'll be like that spinning back kick to the stomach, like the soul butt, kick. And then what the guy will do is he'll like turn his back to the guy that he's just kicked, and then he'll sort of like do a little skip and lift one leg up and then take off and hit the ropes.
So infuriating.
It's like, fucking stop. Just you step forward and you hit the fucking ropes like look how Stone Cold or Jake Roberts or The Undertaker hits the ropes, and then look at Will Ospreay going like.
It annoys the shit out of me, eh? Anyway. Stop. Let's get to the end of this one here. I didn't have a problem with the match at all. I thought the finish was great with Sting using the mist this time.
Yeah, that was cool.
So that was a nice end to the match. But I will say this: these feuds Darby has had since the first time I watched him, with Team Taz, the HFO, Andrade, the House of Black.
Why do they keep using the kid like?
And like they also do have the thing with the Young Bucks and shit. Like I just feel like that all these feuds have been carbon copies of one another, where there's going to be a coffin match at one stage, and then the pay-per-view match will have a 6-man tag where Sting gets to be in the ring as well. I just want to see something a little different for him soon. I want some story. It can't just all be about, now he needs to have Sting team with him because his odds are insurmountable. There's got to be something else.
Man, you know what? I would like to see Darby Allin take on Dante Martin in like a fucking ladder match or a tightrope match or whatever the fuck, some kind of specialty match. I would like to see just something fucking different from just the usual shit that we like. Why didn't you do something that actually accentuates Darby's strengths instead of sticking him in these 6-man matches so that he can fly around like a rubber ball, the same as every other fucking cunt on the roster does?
Yeah, I'd just like to see some sort of character related stuff so we can get to know more about him because whatever.
It was good at the beginning when they were doing the short films and stuff. There was a bit of a vibe of like the deal that was going on between Sting and Darby, and now all of that shit's just gone, and it's really all just faded into the background. It's a big problem for people of their status in the company, referring to Sting and Darby. And by the way, what the fuck happened to Malachi Black? I know we don't have time to go into it now, but what a waste there as well.
He was on fire during that Cody feud, and I just feel like them putting him in this group, which is I'm not offended at the House of Black, but I feel like now he's just been stuck doing group stuff when he should have been that poison through the company. No matter who he affected, it affected them afterward. That's what I thought was going to happen with him, and it just feels like he's just stuck in the middle there, bro.
There have also been some rumors floating around that he might be on his way out. Some people said off camera that he took a bow and blew a kiss and stuff. Might have been suggestive that he's leaving. So
it's a shame because he came in hot, and Tony just kept going with it. Instead of bringing more people in, which ended up pushing other people down. Like I've heard Andrade's not really happy. Miro's not really happy with how they've been used. Anyway,
why would they be? We don't have time for this.
We don't. We actually don't. But before we get to the main event, Garcia and Jericho are backstage, which hypes up a match between Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. The only thing I wanted to say is can Daniel Garcia be any more bland as a character? Someone work with him on his acting skills, please. Let's get to
any more of a bland matchup. Like that's like putting the red and the green characters from the creator moveset of the video game against each other.
It's so mean, but true. Let's get to our main event of the evening, AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Juicy Boy. It's Jon Moxley, the champion, taking on CM Punk in their rematch after what happened in that unification match just over a week or so ago. I'm going to go first this time. I don't have that much to say. But one thing I did want to point out was that I felt with the opening promo before this, when Moxley was in the ring at Dynamite and he threw that open contract in the ring, I'm like, why didn't the whole locker room pour out trying to get in there to get that shot? I just thought that was stupid. So I wasn't happy about that. So these are the notes. I kept pressing skip during Moxley's entrance. And I'm like, how long is this entrance? My God, just get to the ring already, bro.
Yeah, and let's just also quickly add something on that, because what you just mentioned there, I thought that was astute. Like when you do stupid things like throwing a contract into the ring like you don't care about it, or throwing a title belt at someone, or giving your opponent a chair and telling them to hit you with it. That is the equivalent of Clint Eastwood in a Western movie tossing the bad guy his gun because he knows that it shoots blanks and it's not really a real gun. So here, go ahead, you just take it and shoot me with it. That's the equivalent of what he's doing when he fucking does that stupid shit, and it breaks the immersion and the suspension of disbelief. All right.
It's just like, what? At least a couple of people should have come out trying to get to that contract. But anyway, Moxley flips off Punk at the beginning. So edgy, bro. But you know what?
William Patrick Corgan.
Yes, William Patrick Corgan. I thought the early GTS was good because, people came a little unglued. I'll give these two boys some credit. They had me on the edge of my seat the whole match because I just didn't know what was going to happen. So that's a credit to John and Phil. I didn't really write a lot because I was just sitting there really enjoying this match, trying to figure out how is Punk going to come out with the win here. It looks like Moxley's dominating him here. But he got the win. I just thought it was a really fantastic finish as well. And I thought props to Moxley for doing business this way. He got the win, a few days ago. He dropped the belt back to Punk here. I thought that was the right thing to do. Of course, though, there was still 4 minutes left in the show. We will get to that, though, after you tell me your thoughts on the world title match here, bro.
My thoughts on the world title match is that I'm going to give it an A+ because it was the highest quality match on the show. I think that it's, again, another exemplary performance from Punk. I think Jon Moxley put on his wrestling shoes, and this was the kind of performance I haven't seen from him since he was WWE champion a number of years ago. Because at one point I did consider him to be really good in the ring, and I feel like he returned to that kind of form here in this match. He wasn't worried about doing all of his usual bullshit. He was just having a hell of a match with another great wrestler in CM Punk, and I think it paid off. The timing was perfect. The ferocity was perfect. The pacing was perfect. And really, it was everything that I wanted out of this main event match. The only thing that I didn't like was the fact that they had the interim title match on TV a week. I just think that whole thing was stupid, and there's nothing really that's going to change my opinion of that, especially in light of this match being so good. I just would have just left it and just not had them face until this fucking match.
Right.
It just boggles my mind that they wouldn't just leave it for this and just build more anticipation. You know, imagine how many people didn't go ahead and buy this pay-per-view on Fight TV thinking that they've already seen the main event match on free TV the week before. You know, like, it's just, that still boggles my mind. But this match on its own was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, kudos to.
It's like people might have been bothered, bro. People might have been bothered by the fact that they tuned in for this big match and then they got that finish, and they're probably like, "Oh, screw this." Like, because I saw people say I was giving it a chance again because I was interested. Saw that finish, I'm like, "No, I'm done again." So maybe now, because of that, some people didn't buy the pay-per-view. Who knows? I don't know. It was a strange decision.
And then they're also kind of playing hot potato as well, man. Interim title or not, they've now just, Punk comes back. He's the real champion. Moxley's the interim champion. Moxley smashes the fuck out of him. Now Moxley is the undisputed AEW champion, but now Punk's the undisputed AEW champion because he just beat Jon Moxley a week after Jon Moxley beat him.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure the Joker will probably win the championship as well very soon. So, bro, what did you think? It went to black. I knew there was a few minutes left in the show. I was like, something's got to happen. If they just have him celebrate the whole time, I'm going to be really mad. Because I remember one time, I watched Dynamite and Moxley won a match, and like there was 7 minutes left in the show, and he just walked around the crowd. I'm like, 7 minutes of him celebrating? Come on.
That was awful.
So I thought we were getting that here, but it went to black, and I'm like, here we go. What did you think? You saw the whole thing, and then it's MJF, and he comes out. And
so AEW is unique in that if this exact kind of segment was going to happen in the WWE, you would be excited to see a huge debut or a huge return of someone that's been gone from the company. But in the case of AEW, you don't want there to be a new face because there's already too many people on the roster. So you find yourself being excited of who on the roster it's going to be, because that means they'll probably be bringing somebody back that's been underused. And in this case, it turned out to be MJF, who has been sorely missing from AEW's product. I thought it was good that he came back. I think that it's going to be good having Punk versus MJF with the great foundation that chapter 1 of their rivalry has already set. That now for the two of them to feud over the championship itself, that's intriguing to me, and it's a testament to MJF's ability to get over, and to his credit, Tony Khan's ability not to tamper with and micromanage MJF, because he does that with quite a lot of other stuff. But even he is, he's obviously a passionate wrestling fan. So he still has that instinct that the rest of us do of like seeing MJF's a special talent, you know. Punk special, I leave them types of talents alone to do what they're gonna do within basic guidelines. So credit to him for that. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Yeah, fair enough, bro. I just my thoughts on it were like I thought it was a cool finish to the show. It's a nice little cliffhanger kind of thing, you know, and maybe now people will be like, oh, I'm looking forward to Dynamite. But I feel like the way that they went about it kind of made the last 3 or so months, however long he's been gone, kind of feel like it's been a bit of a waste. It got a good pop. I'm sure it's going to get great, you know, reaction online, and people might tune into Dynamite this week. But I feel like it's a big missed opportunity. And I feel like the way that it came across was like, you heard a voicemail from Tony just forgiving him and wanting him back, and he'll give him this amount of money to be on this show, and he's going to get an opportunity to be in the battle, the ladder match. And I'm like, shouldn't you still be kind of mad at him over what he said on television about you? Like, it's kind of like Tony like wiping his hands clean of the whole situation, when I kind of feel like something even bigger could have come from this, instead of like,
if you're gonna bring
the
him
heat's
back,
over. And he's just back now, and now he's number one contender, and now he can get a title shot. I just feel like there could have been a different way to go about it. I mean, off the top of my head,
even if it's MJF, you know, you could have had the Joker come out, cash in the chip, and then just lay down and allow himself to be pinned. And then after that, then he reveals that he's MJF and he's fucking with the show and stuff like that, because that would be carrying on everything that was going on, that was the catalyst for him leaving. But now he's been brought back as just one of the guys in this angle, and it was cool. It was good that it was him, in the sense that he's somebody worthy of an angle like that or a reveal like that. But it was also like, he's a rare gem of a talent that needs to be utilized to his fullest potential.
yeah, I still don't really understand the whole connection with him and Malcolm Bivens. I can't remember his name already. I've already forgotten it. Something Hathaway.
Stokely Hathaway.
Stokely Hathaway. Yes, I don't know what that's all about, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, hopefully it's explained properly.
Being in there was intriguing to me. I liked that, but then again, do we need more groups in AEW?
Apparently we do, bro. Yeah. Well, there we go, bro. We get to the end of All Out 2022. Give us your final rating out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6. You know, it's probably not as high as many people were expecting, but like, to be honest, this is now like the 4th annual All Out, I'm pretty sure. And I'm still feeling like the company could be blazing hot right now if they'd been going along with the things that the fans have decided are the best and brightest things in the company. Like, the fans, even though we shit on some of the fans' tastes and stuff like that, the fans decided that Britt Baker is the face of the women's division. So why is there a second title, and why is Jade Cargill being pushed like the second coming? Like, the fans have decided that they want Darby Allin to be a big star, a future star, an underdog babyface. So why isn't he being used prominently? Like, the fans have decided that they're not really interested in the Young Bucks. They'd prefer FTR. So why is FTR constantly being given shit to do, or being left off cards, taken out of the video game and stuff like that?
Unbelievable.
They keep going against what the fans are now deciding several years in. They've been offered a smorgasbord of everything AEW is going to offer from its product, and they've chosen Punk, MJF, FTR, Orange Cassidy, fucking, you know,
Wardlow.
Britt Baker, Wardlow. They've chosen these people and these acts, for better or worse, as what they want to see the focus be put on. And instead, the product continues to be held back because the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, that whole crew of people seem hell-bent on continuing to make themselves the center of AEW as a product.
Rightio, bro. Well, you gave it a 6. You know what? I actually enjoyed this pay-per-view, which is something I haven't been able to say about AEW since All Out last year, which I believe we both gave a 9 out of 10, that pay-per-view. I'm not giving it that high of a rating, but I want to do something nice here because I actually enjoyed the pay-per-view, despite it being a little long and there being a few too many multi-man matches. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So there you go. I'm doing something nice. If I actually enjoyed something, I give it a good rating. But I still to be negative Nancy, I don't know if the follow-up to this is going to be what everyone's hoping it's going to be. I still feel like Tony is going to be stuck in his ways, and more people are going to get annoyed. More people are going to want to leave and go back to WWE. That's just my thoughts on it. So there we have it, Juicy Boy. Thank you for watching the pay-per-view and reviewing it with me here on the show today.
Yeah, no worries. And thank all of you out there. This has been our review of All Elite Wrestling's All Out 2022. And we will see you down the Frecklin Road.
Sucked, bro.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.